The tangerine tyrant, Donald Trump. I think it's fair to say that he is a disgusting human being. Quite frankly, I don't think you can even really call him that, really. He's the foulest of creatures. He is the swamp. Well, he's pulled out, pretty much, from support of Ukraine. Now, we don't know whether or not they're going to remove support of munitions and intelligence and that sort of stuff, and the internet via Elon Musk's Starlink. We don't know yet. But Marco Rubio, he basically walked off because, left his counterpart there because he wasn't getting anywhere. Because what they were expecting Ukraine to do, no one could roll over for that. Was he expecting to roll over and tickle my tummy? I just find it unbelievable. Besides, it isn't even down to Volodymyr Zelensky to say yes. It's in their constitution that there'd have to be a vote on it. And maybe even a referendum on any deal that Donald Trump and his lackeys come up with. It's just not that simple, you see. But it isn't just the rare earth minerals and metals, pretty much anything that coming out of the ground. He wants control of the electricity. The nuclear reactors. We'll share a deal on that, It's all about the money, isn't it? It's not about decency. Now, Ursula von der Leyen, she said that the West was dead. I think we need to rephrase that. I think the United States is dead. Our relationship with the United States is dead. Because European countries, as a whole, are banding together. They're trying to remain strong. If anything, this situation has strengthened Europe. At least something good's coming out of it, I suppose. But I find it immensely sad, I really do. Not everyone believes in what Donald Trump has to say. He's, blaming Volodymyr Zelensky for being difficult about Crimea. It wasn't just about Crimea. The whole deal is shit. The peace deal isn't even a deal, is it? It is... It's a ransom. It's a ransom note. That's what it is. Sign this or else. Pretty much. It's disgraceful. Donald Trump is destroying your reputation in the United States. Now, Canada's done the right thing. Elbows up, pushing back from it. Doing their own level of support for Ukraine. Now, I'll tell you now, I told you before, my feeling is I think we've been dragging our heels in Europe, we really have. It's all very well doing the sanctions and military support and what have you. That was never going to be enough. Within 6 months, we should have been there on the ground with them. I know what people say, crikey, what about nuclear missiles and stuff like that. No, that's a zero-sum game. That really is. Putin's not stupid. He's not. He might waive the threats and stuff like that. But as soon as he does anything with nuclear whatsoever, be tactical or whatever, he'll lose all support of the Russian people. Even though it's forced support. Now, we're already under threat. We're already under attack. Europe is already at war with Russia. How many acts of war has Putin acted on? Performed? It's not the right word, is it? I can't think of the right word now. But, destroying of cables, internet cables, mapping out the seabed in our waters. And when confronted, they confront them with blooming machine guns. This is just around the United Kingdom. And let's not forget about the poisoning, the Novichok poisoning in the United Kingdom. Chemical warfare in another nation. That's surely another act of war. You know, we'll put you on a war footing. But no, what do? We still snuggle up to them and let the oligarchs buy up London pretty much. We failed. It's not just obviously United Kingdom, it's, you know, it's France, Germany, everywhere, you know. We failed. And we have literally sat on our hands because we're so scared. We're too bloody scared. If it isn't nuclear, we're worrying about fuel. We're worrying about gas prices. Oh, it's politically unhelpful and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But when you're dealing with people who've got huge egos like Donald Trump, well, quite frankly, it was losing bet. There's no deal to be had where Donald Trump's involved. Donald Trump, 99% of the time, goes back on deals. All the trade deals he's talking about, that really bad trade deals, well, they're the ones that he's negotiating his first term. They're just, you've got a really short memory, hasn't he? And these people like Rubio and J.D. Vance, all they want to do, it seems to me that they just want to antagonise, aggravate, anger Europe. They've got this deep hatred for Europe for some unknown reason. Well, I don't know what it is, maybe you do. Leave in the comments down below. But so whether or not Zelensky's going to be able to maintain Western supplies from the United States and intelligence and internet and what have you, well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, Vladimir Putin, a few days ago, he offered to stop the invasion at the front lines, yeah. But yeah, we agreed to this, agreed to that. Yeah, we want to keep all this land and that we've stolen, but you're just going to have to agree that it exists and stuff. And that's pretty much what Donald Trump's deal's pretty much containing as well. It's almost like they've all been talking, you know what I mean, behind the scenes. Now, you've got to remember also that delegates from the United States have actually visited Russia more times than they have talked to Volodymyr Zelensky. The one time Volodymyr Zelensky visited the White House, he was treated like shit. They attacked him. And they go on about fucking, about this suit lark. Well, quite frankly, you see Donald Trump sitting there, well, that's just a suit with a prick inside. And then you got a man who's not wearing a suit. And what about all these other people that went to the White House that don't wear suits? Like this new media arts going on, Tim Cook, or whatever his name, not Tim Cook. Anyway, some far-right, fascist, right-wing YouTube channel, completing that arsehole he is. He went there with a flipping hoodie. And then you've got Elon Musk and all. It is okay for them, but they use it as an attack line. And then that geezer who's a boyfriend of Marjorie Taylor Greene attacking him, going on about, why don't you wear a suit? Come to the White House, why don't you wear a suit? Do you even own a suit? Yeah, I own a suit. No, yeah. Well, they got the wrong end of the stick there. They thought Zelensky was being arrogant, but you see, the name for, or the word for a suit is a costume, as it's translated in Ukraine. And he basically, no, I don't. Yes, I own a costume. Just probably nicer than yours or something stupid. I don't know, something crazy. It was just surreal. It was surreal and painful, actually. Painful. We should be banding together against tyrants. But you know what they say, don't you? Fascists, well, they get on with fascists, don't they? They really do. And that is Donald Trump. He's a feckin' fascist. And that is obviously Putin. So they're happy to talk together. It's not about power being strong people, it's about fascism. They've got the same ideals. Look at what Donald Trump is doing to your country at the moment. He is destroying it. And he had Elon Musk was supposed to be saving $2 trillion and spending, and then went to $1 trillion and down to $150 billion. And now it looks like he's not saved anything apart from, sacking all these people. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's madness. The whole thing is madness, and I don't know what direction it's going to go. I don't think anybody knows because Donald Trump is too erratic. If it doesn't suit Donald Trump, like say if he forgets who he's working for, if it doesn't suit Donald Trump, he's not going to do anything. That's all backfiring on him. It's all backfiring on Donald Trump. He's constantly trying to big himself up with lies. And it's just literally what they are. He's not to be trusted. And now we've got Rachel Reeves, she's now over in the United States trying to, talk about a trade deal with the United States. They're not to be trusted. The worst thing the UK could do is have a trade deal with the United States. It's the worst thing we could do. So it's right across the board, It's the US is dead. Not necessarily the West. Western Europe, what have you, I think they're fairly strong. Yeah, there's some anomalies, but we can deal with them. But we have to be strong, and we have to stay strong. And we have to stay strong for Ukraine. Because Ukraine is on our, effectively it was in Europe, It's one of our neighbours, really, aren't they? Okay, got Poland in between. Maybe a few other countries. But I'll tell you one thing that's very worrying me, okay? If Russia takes Ukraine, they've got access to all additional mineral deposits, if they are what they say they are. They've got access to their nuclear power. It's their Russia's going to become stronger. They're going to build up their arsenal even more. Give it a few more years, and they'll do exactly the same thing. They'll go to the next country along, which will be Poland, or maybe one of the smaller ones. I know Poland might trigger Article 5, but what's that worth these days? When I think, quite frankly, what's been going on in Ukraine, the fact we haven't stepped up to that, I think there's questions to be asked whether or not we'd step up if the scenario was there for Article 5 to be triggered. We're weak. We're gutless. We're always looking at the negatives and not necessarily how the outcomes, because everything is rolling out in a direction at the moment. And the way it's going is we're all going to feel the pain. Anyway, we've already felt it in the economy, but do we really want Russia to be a whole country, a big country, closer? No. All it means is they're about to put their nuclear missiles a little bit closer, which means they can attack us that much, hit us much quicker. Oh, I don't know. It's madness. And it will be a genocide. It will be the end of the Ukrainian people. They're going to have to go to some sort of re-education, so to speak. And if they don't, they'll be in a gulag. And they'll be disappeared. Or like what's happening with the Uyghur Muslims, or what's happening in El Salvador regarding these work prisons. That's what they are. Anyway, you tell me. I'm just really disappointed. Not just disappointed, not about me, obviously. I suppose it is to some degree, I suppose it's all of us, but I just feel that the loss of the United States, because that's what it is painful. It must be painful for you as well. It's not whether or not we can rely on them as for defence reasons, but we had a relationship. That's gone. Canada would say it's gone. Mexico's pretty much saying it's gone. Anything that was there has just been destroyed by Donald Trump. It really has. Anyway, you tell me. Please leave in the comments down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee. You might buy some dog treats while you're at it. What you want, bear? You like dog treats? Got another one down there, little Pandora. She likes being on the floor. She likes to sprawl out, she does. This one just wants to be on top of you, don't you, Sebastian? Huh? Isn't he a pretty boy? He's like me. Toodaloo! Leave that in the comments down below.